Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm going to be reviewing A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. In this book we follow 18-year-old Coriolanus Snow long before he was president of Pan Am. He's 18 years old and this year is the 10th anniversary of the Hunger Games, so they've decided to ask Academy children to be mentors to the tributes for the first time. Even though he lives in the capital, everything is not all glitz and glamour. Both of his parents died sometime during the war, so all he has left are his cousin and his grandmother. Because his family invested all their money in District 13, now that the war has passed, they are struggling to stay afloat. All of you know that this was a highly anticipated read for me, and so I'm sad to say that I did not enjoy it as much as I expected to. However, my expectations were also very different. I thought that we were getting Snow's rise to power. We were going to see when he became president and all the people that he may have betrayed to get there. But instead, it's just this short amount of time when he's 18, so not even a year of his life. Unlike with the original trilogy, I felt like this one started off very slow. I was really bored, maybe for like the first 5 chapters, which is surprising, while I was reading the original trilogy, and every single one, something that grabs your attention happens at the end of each chapter. So I was a little disappointed that it took so long for me to get into it. I was so bored while I was reading the first few chapters that I ended up getting the audiobook and started listening to that on twice the speed. Honestly, reading this just left me with more questions than answers. One of my biggest questions, and this isn't a spoiler because it's written in the synopsis, if he's 18 during the 10th Hunger Games, how the fuck is he still alive during the 176th Hunger Games? And I know that there's a lot of discussion about how people in the Capitol have like plastic surgery and this, that, and the third, but I don't think there was ever any mention of life expectancy, and this man's almost 200 by the time he dies. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird? I don't know. I have so many questions. If you have not read this book yet and you are planning to, here is your official spoiler warning. I'm gonna get into all of my thoughts and all of the questions that I now have after reading this. So one of the first questions that came up while I was reading this is about Tigress. Maybe I'm wrong, but is this the same Tigress that we met in Mockingjay who helped Katniss hide and go into the Capitol so that she could plan to assassinate President Snow? Because they're so close at this point, so what the fuck happened between them that would make her, one, turn against him, but also want to help the rebels? Because remember, her parents were also killed during the war, so I don't understand. I'm very confused, and I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get any more of that story. Snow obviously is not a likable character, but what annoyed me about him the most is that he overanalyzes everything. Like, Lucy Gray will be singing a song and he'll be like, oh, is this about me? Is this about Billy Tope? Is this about someone else? Like, just calm down. Like, calm down. Just a song. And believe it or not, she had a life before she met you. So, could be about anybody. You don't know. So even though I have a lot of questions about this, I will say that it is cool to see like how the games have progressed over the years. And like, it's so not as glamorous as it is during the Hunger Games, but it was just really interesting to see what it started off as and how dumb it was. It was also interesting to see what Snow was like when he was younger. Like, he wasn't always completely heartless and whatever. I'm pretty sure this won't be a surprise for anything, but the biggest thing that annoyed me while reading this was the fucking romance. It wasn't necessary. It didn't make sense, and it's basically the entire thing driving the plot, and for no fucking reason. And I say that because, first and foremost, insta-love? Really? Is that what we're still doing in 2020? Do we not know better? Like, Lucy Gray and Snow have been in close proximity for a hot second. When did y'all have time to fall in love? What do y'all even know about each other? Do you even know anything about each other? Like, this is why I hate insta-love. It doesn't make sense. Like, insta-lust? Yeah, sure. Immediate physical attraction? Sure. Love? Fuck no. This is not love. And I never really felt like they loved each other throughout any of it. He kind of talks about her like a possession. Like he constantly says things like she belongs to me and things like that. That's not how love works. The proof in the fact that they don't love each other is how quickly they were ready to fucking kill each other. Like literally all that time making up this crazy ass love story for what? For what? And it's literally down the drain in 2 seconds flat. And then so while I was reading it, like I was thinking about his reaction to Katniss and Peeta in the arena and how he didn't feel like Katniss really loved Peeta, and he was like, you need to convince me. But like, are we supposed to believe that because he loved Lucy Gray, he knows what love is and is supposed to look like? Because that's not love, number one. Two, so you really wouldn't know what love looks like, yet you're forcing this 17-year-old girl not only to convince the entire world, but to convince you that she's in love with someone when you tried to kill her. Like, like I always say, Katniss had way too many things going on, even though I did love Peeta, but like, I don't understand. None of this makes sense to me. And why did there need to be a romance in this at all? Now that I'm thinking about it, I really don't have any strong feelings about Lucy Gray. I kind of feel like the romance, she was just kind of a driving factor for the plot, but didn't really need to be there. I mean, I think it's interesting that she is the one who wrote the Hanging Tree song, and she wrote it while in the meadow where Katniss spends a lot of her time. I also wonder if like Lucy Gray is the reason that President Snow hates Katniss so much. Like, does she remind him of Lucy Gray because she lived in the scene and used to go to the meadow? Like, I don't understand. I don't know. I'm starting to see why a lot of booktubers said that they felt like this was unnecessary, and I kind of agree. Like I said, it wasn't really what I expected, but also I don't really think that it gave me anything. I don't feel like I've really gained any more information about Panem. I guess we learned a little bit about Snow, but not the way that I expected, so I feel kind of let down. I don't know. I think, especially with all of the questions that I now have that are just floating in the air because we didn't get answers, I think I'm only gonna give this a 2 out of 5. I don't know. I just did not enjoy it as much as I had hoped I would. So right now I'm watching Mina Reeds do her review of A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I'm gonna leave a link to her video down in the description. She's doing a very good job of like honestly ripping it to shreds, but she's doing more of a sociological analysis of it, and I really do like it. And I would have done all that, but honestly I'm just too tired and I'm just so disappointed by how it ended. So I'm gonna leave a link to Mina's review, and if you've read it, I suggest you watch it. It is very spoilery, so if you have not yet read the book, then I do not suggest that you watch the video if you are planning to read the book. I know a few of you have been following my reread journey. I hope the ending of this is not as disappointing for all of you as it was for me. So if you've read A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, let me know what you thought about it. It wasn't as good as I expected, and I don't feel like it was a waste of time, but for 500 pages of fake romance, I'm not impressed. Not at all. But let me know what you thought of this book. I am getting ready to start a buddy read with Dasha from My Thick Pages. We're gonna read Vicious. I'm also doing a buddy read with my friend Cassie. We're gonna read Truly Devious. So those are next on my list. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you in the next video.